Good morning, Year 3. Welcome to our second English lesson of the week. We're going to continue with recapping, reviewing all the things that we have done this term. So let's get organized and prepared for the lesson. Ensure you have your pencil, pen and paper. Use the pause button when you need to. We will review all of the things that we've been doing. So the quiz will be, to begin with, on adverbs. Adverbs describe a verb. So find the adverbs in the following sentence. He shouted loudly for help. Is it number 1, he, number 2, shouted, number 3, loudly, and number 4, for? Find the adverbs in the following sentence. He shouted loudly for help. Find the adverbs in the following sentence. The team played poorly because many players were injured. Is it number 1, played, number 2, poorly, number 3, players, or number 4, were? Find the adverbs in the following sentence. Slipping on the treacherous ice, my sister landed awkwardly. Is it number 1, slipping, number 2, treacherous, number 3, landed, number 4, awkwardly? Find the adverbs in the following sentence. The car went so fast it appeared to be a blur. Right, in this case there are 2. In the others there's only been 1, even though they say find the adverbs. Okay, so number 1, went and fast. Number 2, so and fast. Number 3, appeared, blur. And number 4, be, blur. And last of all, the nurse spoke gently but removed the bandage carelessly. Are the adverbs number 1, nurse and gently, number 2, spoke and carelessly, number 3, gently and carelessly, or number 4, removed bandage? Okay, let's mark the first 5. The adverb in number 1 is 3, loudly. Remember, most adverbs can be recognized easily because they end in ly. In number 2, it's 2, poorly. In number 3, awkwardly, which is number 4. And in number 4, this is quite tricky, but remember, an adverb describes a verb, and the verb in this sentence is went. So the 2 adverbs are so and fast, which is number 2. And last of all, 2 adverbs in number 5, gently, carelessly. How did you do? Did you recognize all of these adverbs, or most of these adverbs? Let's move on to the next quiz. So it's synonyms. These are words that have similar meaning. So, which word below has a similar meaning to loyal? Is it number 1, neurotic, number 2, suspicious, number 3, warlike, or number 4, devoted? Which word below has a similar meaning to defeat? Is it, this one's quite different, number 1 is different, number 2, overcome, number 3, outnumber, and number 4, despise? Sorry, that one's a bit more difficult to read. Number 3, which word below is a synonym for precisely? Is it 1, slowly, 2, exactly, 3, poetically, or 4, woodenly? Which word below has a similar meaning or is a synonym for hastily? Is it number 1, cautiously, number 2, hungrily, number 3, hurriedly, or number 4, continuously? And the last one, which word below is a synonym for tired? Worried, unbalanced, fatigued, or miserable. So 1 worried, 2 unbalanced, 3 fatigued, 4 miserable. Okay, I think you've been able to keep up. So let's mark number 1. Loyal is a synonym for number 4, devoted. Defeat is a synonym for number 2, overcome. Precisely is a synonym for exactly, so number 2. Hastily is a synonym for number 3, hurriedly. And finally, tired is a synonym for number 3, fatigued. How did you do? Are you on 10 out of 10? 9 out of 10? 8 out of 10? Are you doing okay on this test? Let's move on to antonyms, the opposite meaning. So this is all very good for developing your vocabulary. What is the antonym for true? Number 1, trustworthy. Number 2, right. Number 3, false. Number 4, correct. Don't forget, you're looking for the opposite meaning. What is the antonym for impossible? Is it 1, wild, 2, crazy, 3, unlikely, 4, possible? Number 3, what is the antonym for internal? Is it 1, behind, 2, in front of, 3, inside, or number 4, external? Number 4, what is the antonym for enemy? Is it 1, foe, 2, arch enemy, 3, ally, or 4, fiend? Number 5, what is the antonym for wet? Is it 1, soggy, 2, clean, 3, dry, or 4, dripping? Let's mark number 1. The antonym for true is number 3, false. It's the opposite. The antonym for impossible is number 4, possible. Take away im, which means not, and you end up with possible. Number 3, the antonym for internal is number 4, external. Internal is inside, external is outside. Number 4, the antonym for enemy is ally. An ally is a friend, which is opposite to enemy. And number 5, the opposite or antonym to wet is number 3, dry. So how are you doing on this test? Are you happy with your results so far? Let's move to the next quiz slide. So this is to do with subject and verb. So you have to insert a word into the sentence and to make the sentence possible. So it has to be grammatically correct. Despite having an amazing voice, Helen not want to become a singer. So is it number 1, do, or number 2, does, number 3, do's, or number 4, don't? So which of those words do you insert into that sentence to make it grammatically correct? Number 2, the paper's on the desk, something to Mr. Brown. So choose the correct word to complete the sentence. Is it number 1, belonging, number 2, belongs, number 2, belong, or number 3, belongs? Think about spelling as well. So there is a spelling element in some of these. Choose the correct word to complete the sentence. He didn't go to school yesterday because he ill. So is it number 1, were, number 2, are, number 3, was, or number 4, is? On his desk, William, a pencil, a broken pen, a ruler, and 8 rubbers. Is it number 1, haves, number 2, have, number 3, having, or number 4, has? And the last one, she, old films with her nan. Is it number 1, watch, or number 2, watches, or number 3, watching, or number 4, watches. There's a spelling element in this one as well. So I'll give you a little bit of time if you fell behind. So I'll count to 5 and we can mark 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, number 1. Despite having an amazing voice, Helen does not want to become a singer. It's number 2. So if you put the word into the empty space and read it, it should make sense. The papers on the desk belong to Mr. Brown. So it's number 3, belong. He didn't go to school yesterday because he was ill. It's number 3. It's in the past tense. Number 4, on his desk, William has a pencil, a broken pen, a ruler, and 8 rubbers. So it's number 4. And last of all, she watches old films with her nan. It's number 2. Number 4 is spelt incorrectly. So there you go. How are you doing? Are you happy with your progress so far? Were you able to identify the missing word? Right, we're on to suffixes. These are word endings like er, ing, that type of thing. Which of these words does not have the suffix er? What that means is you just put er at the end to create a new word. So we have teach, painter, decorator, farmer. So which of these words does not take the suffix? Which means that you can only put er at the end, and is that correct? Move on to number 2. One of these words changes its spelling slightly when you add the suffix est. Which one is it? Happiest, fastest, quietest, shortest. Is it 1 happy, 2 fast, 3 quiet, or 4 short? You need to know your spelling on that one as well. And the spelling rule. Which of the following has an incorrect suffix? Lovable, number 1. Number 2, sensible. Number 3, responsible. Number 4, terrible. Can you recognize the incorrect spelling of one of those words, essentially? Because it has the incorrect suffix. Which suffix could be added to the end of the word judge? Is it number 1, ly, judgely? Number 2, full, judgeful? Number 3, ness, judgeness? Or number 4, judgment? And finally, which of the following has an incorrect suffix? Reliable is number 1, number 2, avoidable, number 3, reasonable, and number 4, trustable. Okay, let's mark. So the word, which of these words does not take the suffix er? It is number 3, decorator. You only add the letter r to the end of decorate to make decorator. Number 2, it's happy. To add est to happy, you have to change the y to I and then add the suffix est. Which one of the following has an incorrect suffix? It's a number 1, lovable. It has to be lovable, not ible. That's it. Next one. Which suffix could be added to the end of the word judge? It is number 4, meant, to create the word judgment. And the last one, which of the following words has an incorrect suffix? It's trustable. Trustable is not a word. So are you still happy with how you were doing? So that's the quiz on suffixes. So now we're going to think about narratives. So what is a dilemma? So this is to do with story writing. Is a dilemma: number one, the speech between the two characters; number two, a tricky situation or problem; number three, a list of events that take place in a short story; or number four, an unexpected and frightening event. Before the ending of a story, you should: number one, write lots of dialogue without any explanations; number two, introduce a completely new character as a surprise; number three, show how the events or problems were resolved; or number four, summarize the entire story again for readers who weren't paying attention. What is the name for the events that happen in the story? Is it number one, plot; number two, plan; number three, writing frame; or number four, dilemma? The people in the story are called: is it one, actors; number two, inhabitants; number three, characters; number four, friends? Which of the following can be used in the opening paragraph of a story? Is it one, a description; two, dialogue, which is speech; three, action; or four, all of the above? Right, let's mark. What is a dilemma? It's number two, a tricky situation or problem. So that helps if you know your synonyms. Number two, before the ending of a story, you should. Number three, show how the events or problems were resolved. Number three, what is the name for the events that happen in a story? It's number one, plot. Number four, the people in the story are called, number three, characters, actors in a play, but not characters. Which of the following can be used in the opening paragraph of a story? It's number four, all of the above. How are you doing? Do you think that you're doing okay? If you got 100%, that would be quite amazing. Right, here is your activity or task for today. So you have a Jack and the Beanstalk story, and you need to insert the missing words in each space. So the words are provided above. You need to select the most appropriate word for each space that is empty or vacant. And your second activity of the day is read the story, The Ant and the Grasshopper, and then complete the questions on the right hand side. Thank you very much for watching and listening. Good luck with the activities. Remember, we look forward to seeing your work. Thank you for taking part for such a long time in this online learning. Email your work to yr3@grange.harrow.sch.uk. Thank you very much. Hope you're well. Take care. Bye for now.